monthly income, monthly spending targets, and wanting to make sure that every month you are um, covering your expenses, plus ideally buying more security in your money machine, okay, which is reinvesting in your business, whether in ads or whatever it may be, and then buying some peace of mind, investing in your financial security. So to me, that should always be in the budget. Um, Quote unquote saving, okay, which is accurately buying currencies or assets and um, reinvesting in your money machine should be part of that budget. And that should be included in, I made 15K, but I spent 15K, 10K on lifestyle, 5K on reinvestment and net worth, if that makes sense. So with that being said, your net worth should really just exist for your own psychological security in an ideal world. Like ideally you die with a bunch of money on you and it was all overkill and it was all for naught and you worried about all of it and you never had to spend it. Okay, ideally you die with a bunch of money on you. If you die in debt, you didn't do it right. Ideally you die with a bunch of money on you, and if you're an entrepreneur, you die with a bunch of unfinished business projects. I have totally given up on the idea of having a clear project folder. My project folder should only be clear when I'm dead. It's the same thing with money. You should die with unfinished projects on it if you're a true entrepreneur, and you should die, if you've properly managed your money with a bunch of money on you, and it was all for overkill. Okay, so really let that sink in the sense of that is 100% true if your business, brackets your money machine, should be able to provide for your ideal lifestyle for the next decade or 2 decades without interruption of income. Okay, if you have a good money machine or money machines, like you've built a second or third after you solidified the first, that should get you through the next decade, including being able to live the ideal lifestyle, or at least 80% of it, 80% rule, where the other 20% of spending would be diminishing returns, as well as letting you reinvest that into your net worth hedge, as well as a certain percentage back into your business. That's the goal. Okay. And that's what the ideal business should do. And that's why monthly income is the metric to measure. Because when you have that and your business is solid, you are good. Like you might be good right now. This might be the most important video of mine that you watch, because I just enlightened you the fact that if you could remove the net worth identity, if you could lower your expenses or geo arbitrage your expenses to a cheaper country and move remotely, and you have 500K stacked up or whatever it is, maybe even 100K, you could be good for the next decade, with your 15K coming in from your business per month, your after-tax 15K. You could be good. You could be super good in Asia. And the only time you have to dig into your quote-unquote savings, okay, more accurately, the diversified financial security you purchased, is when there was a problem with your money machine, when there was an interruption with your income and your money machine. Not even an economic disaster like COVID, for example. A lot of my guys didn't have to dig into their savings at all, by the grace of God. And I'm not trying to rub that in anyone's face. If COVID was hard on you, I feel for you, man. But what I'm saying is even an economic disaster, with the right money machine, you can prosper. And it's really only the interruption of income that's important. Many guys that I've worked with have not had to go into their reserves for a decade or decades. I've worked with guys who are multimillionaires in their 40s, and they've been rich since they were in their 20s. And they haven't had to go into saving, quote unquote, net worth at all in that period. 20 years of uninterrupted income. And it's the case with most successful guys. If you look at the Forbes 500, they just built one company, Apple, Microsoft, Berkshire Hathaway, and it was profitable. It was profitable either every month, or if the company wasn't profitable, at least they were making their salary. They were making their salary plus what they were getting from dividends to live their ideal lifestyle. And that was more was coming in than what they were spending. And this is the case of a successful business, like, should not be losing money yearly, should not be in a losing year, should not be in a losing month. If there's a losing month, it's like, stop everything, let's figure out what happened here. Okay, unless you're a startup and you got a bunch of VCs that are going to buy into you and sell it to the public. You sell your unprofitable WeWork company to the public, sorry. Or you're too big to fail bank and you can do whatever you want and take your $30 million in bonuses because the government's going to bail you out. But if you are an actual entrepreneur who's not betting on an IPO or a bunch of VC money or a government bailout, if you're losing money, there's a problem. Whether it's 1 year or just 1 month, that's a problem. Okay, so a really healthy money machine should be able to survive and thrive under all climates for decades. And if there is an interruption in income, it shouldn't be for more than a couple months, and you will have plenty of runway to deal with. For your little 2 months of interruption in income, you'll still have all that net worth to deal with it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make you feel a lot better about your present financial situation, or your near future, midterm future financial situation, with the idea that as long as you build the right money machine and continue to invest in it, you're good. The net worth was just insurance that you never used, and you die with it on you. You still keep adding to it. You still keep buying that peace of mind, but you die with it on you. And your business took you to the end zone. Your business, your money machine took you to the hoop without interruption. Okay? And that is the key. That's why I want to make the case for measuring monthly income and monthly spending targets, and deciding your ideal business income from there. Okay, as a lifestyle goal, being like, what is the number that I need to live my ideal lifestyle, or to live my 80% ideal lifestyle? Okay, we all want to be, it would be nice to be on a yacht or the Playboy Mansion, to have the lifestyle of a billionaire. But ultimately, it's like, how much do you need to live in a really killer place, in sunshine with good food and your buddies and women, and to have enough for nice clothes and maybe blow up your personal brand to get a bit of fame, right? And it's kind of like, it's not a billionaire's lifestyle, but you have all the aspects of your life on a good level, on a level where you're really feeling like you're able to enjoy your net worth and you're not lacking for anything. You're like, okay, it would be nice to have a yacht or 10 Lamborghinis, but you've got a killer motorcycle, or you're throwing 600 for leasing a Range Rover and a drive, or 1,500 for a Range Rover and a driver, whatever it is. You're not feeling a lack of comfort. You're not feeling a lack of anything really. So kind of the 80% rule applied to lifestyle, with the idea that lifestyle targets are the key to happiness, and money is a tool for happiness. Not like, that's the primary point, with identity, status-based identity on the amount of money you've accumulated as number two, and a very distant number two. The purpose of money is the tool for happiness. Some guys don't like the word happiness. You can say state, you can say experience, whatever it may be, with the idea like knife in your leg, negative experience, negative state, negative happiness. Everything we do is towards a positive experience. Okay. And having money, the primary purpose of money should not be for, I accumulate all this money that I don't spend so that I have status and I feel like I've competed and succeeded, and base my identity primarily around the bunch of money I have, versus money is here for me to use to live an awesome lifestyle where I can have all the things I want, and I can also spend a percentage of that to reinvest in my business and solidify the money machine, as well as spend a percentage to buy peace of mind across a kitchen sink, which means throw everything in the kitchen sink at it, hedge of assets from cash to bonds to stocks to crypto or whatever it is, enough to where you feel like you're going to keep pace with inflation. Your net worth will keep pace with inflation of, let's say, the US dollar. If the US dollar is your measuring stick. And again, all those advanced calculations are going to be in my course, which I promise will be released by the end of this year. Okay, so back to the point with many guys I know, worked with, have not had to go into their reserves in a decade or decades. I've been blessed in that regard as well. And if you're still with me, I want to make the case, and that's the case for measuring in monthly income and monthly spending targets and designing your ideal business income from there, as opposed to what a lot of guys do, a lot of entrepreneurs do, is kill themselves doing what they hate to hit a net worth target that is tied to their identity. For example, I need to be worth $10 million by this age to feel like a success. And if I don't do that, I'm a fucking loser. As opposed to, all you have to do is, let's say, for example, 15K per month for the next decade and live like a king in Southeast Asia or Eastern Europe, which is where most of my friends live. I'm currently in Mexico right now, but we'll be heading back there without ever having to touch your cash/asset reserves. And you can spend 8K per month. And you can live in a 4K per month warlord villa in Bali. If you don't believe me, look it up. Look up what you can get with a maid, assistant, cook, food delivery, and spend another 4K on food, drink, dates, travel, motorcycles, clothes, other lifestyle investments, while still having 7,000 left over to reinvest in your money machine, which is your business, or in the future security of your money machine, or to add to your hedge of cash or assets, meaning you can buy more USD, bot, euro, crypto, bonds, whatever that might be. If you want to see my opinion on crypto, you can watch a couple of videos that I did on that. As of the time of this publication of the video, crypto has been on a real tear, and some of my guys have made a bunch of money on that. My perspective stays the same. When money is pulled out, it is going towards a hedge across a bunch of different asset classes. I might choose to include more crypto in that hedge, but ultimately my goal is just to keep pace with inflation. But what has made me wealthier, I should say, let's just say comfortable, and what will continue, God willing, to make me comfortable in the future by the grace of God, is to invest in money machine or money machines.